I know what's going on, man. We back with another motherfucking video, man. Talking about Fredo Bang and Young Boy, the deadly beef going on with them, or what happened with them. You know what I'm saying? This Chocolate Ross. If y'all don't know who Chocolate Ross is, I'm sure y'all already know. But you know what I'm saying? Shout out Chocolate Ross. But I'm finna do a reaction to them motherfuckers, see what's going on.
The murders Youngboy was responsible for, he was just a troubled southern kid from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. His real name is Kentrell Deshaun Goulden, and he was born in 1999 in Baton Rouge, where he grew up in the city's north side around 38th Street and Chippewa. Suffering a turbulent childhood, overshadowed by violence and tragedy, in part due to his father getting a 55-year sentence for armed robbery and attempted murder, and the death of his beloved grandmother who raised him, this all led to Youngboy being sent to a group home where he would suffer severe abuse and bullying, before he would eventually start a life of crime of his own during his teenage years, doing home invasions and robberies that would eventually land him in jail.
That's his little brother? That nigga look older than him. Who is that? I don't know who this is. I don't know who this guy is right here to the right. I don't know who this guy is. But I'm talking about this dude. This dude look like his little brother, but he looked older.
Attention. It was during this time that Youngboy finally found his purpose through writing rhymes, and upon his release, he began recording low-quality songs at home with his friend and roommate OG33, microphone from Walmart. It didn't take him long to pick up a buzz in the Baton Rouge street rap scene, and he soon aligned himself with a local rap label and borderline gang known as Top Boy Gorilla, or TBG, led by rappers G Money and Fredo Bang. Unfortunately, one of the first people to give Youngboy a leg up in his career would wind up being the first of many people that would be murdered to protect that career.
I'm not gonna lie to you, before you even get into it, a lot of people blame Youngboy for that little beef or whatever. A lot of people blame him and say he pretty much started that beef. But a lot of people don't know G Money really kind of was starting to like dissing YB before YB was started dissing G Money. Like, G Money was doing a lot of dissing, boy. A lot of dissing. G Money was doing a lot of dissing. But I don't think people was really like that deep into it. Unless you know, you know. But the narrative going around, a lot of people don't know that, you know what I'm saying, that G Money was doing a lot of dissing. But
Youngboy would eventually release his first mixtape, Life Before Fame, under the TBG label in 2015. But soon, issues like jealousy,
I didn't really know he dropped that under TBG though. I didn't know that.
Disputes over money and street beefs seemed to cause a falling out between Youngboy and TBG, and in the aftermath, he and his close friend OG33 branched off and started their own movement that would eventually be worth hundreds of millions of dollars. I'm of course talking about NBA, aka Never Broke Again, which became both a rap label and a tight-knit crew of Youngboy's closest friends, as well as his most prolific shooters and killers. This included infamous figures like Ben 10, Big B, Herm, Montana, Michi Baby, KD, Lil Pap, and Baba, just to mention a few. Moreover, in countless lyrics, Youngboy and other NBA members would claim allegiance to a gang known as 4KT or 4K Trey, which appears to be a larger street alliance in Baton Rouge, and possibly also in other cities that Youngboy and his friends would represent. There's been endless debate about the true meaning of 4K Trey. Some have suggested it refers to those who kill for Youngboy, or killing.
I don't think that's what that means.
Others have suggested that it actually referred to the beef with TBG from the south side of Baton Rouge who rep the 4, saying that they're 4K or 4 killers, and that they banged the 3 or the Trey,
I don't think
while others
4K Trey
have
means
suggested
kill
that
for
it refers
Youngboy
to
though.
forever
That
killing
don't
the
really
Ops.
make sense.
But whatever
that
the true
right
meaning, the
makes
broader
the most
national
sense to me. Forever killing them ain't nobody safe. Forever killing them makes the most sense to me. But
others have suggested that it refers to forever killing the Ops. But whatever the true meaning, the broader national alliance of this gang appears to be within the Bloods, more specifically the notorious East Coast originated blood faction known as Money Murder, or
X-Murder Money,
who are known for
X
sometimes
Money
representing
Murder,
themselves with the bright green
X
color
Money,
instead of the traditional red, while also making use of other symbolism based on this color theme, like calling each other slime. But before NBA or 4K Trey would allegedly commit their first murder, they would suffer a tragic loss of their own, which led to one of the only incidents where Youngboy himself had been confirmed to have personally been involved in a shooting. These events began unfolding when Youngboy's cousin Boozilla, affiliated with a crew known as BBG or Bottom Boy Gorillas, was gunned down in November 2016. BBG was a direct rival to TBG, the label and gang that Youngboy declined to sign to, who had since turned from Youngboy's acquaintances to his main rivals. In the aftermath of Boozilla's murder, Youngboy would wind up catching a double attempted murder charge for a shooting incident where he and other known NBA members tried to avenge Boozilla's death. The following year, in 2017, Youngboy would plead guilty to aggravated assault and ended up getting a suspended sentence in this case. Effectively, the judge had been very merciful and granted him a second chance at life in his career with strict conditions. Soon after his release, he would...
I'm not gonna lie, they definitely did, bro. What I will say, boys, in my city, but that shit not going, but yo ass getting slammed. But then at the same time, he had the label behind him, you know what I'm saying? He had some money, so I can't say that. But in my city, but they don't care nothing about you being 16, 15. But you're getting charged as an adult, and you're going down. You're going down, but that's Florida too. Florida not playing that. Florida not playing that.
Hit the big leagues with his music, dropping the coveted AI Youngboy mixtape, charting on Billboard, and signing a $2 million deal with Atlantic Records. But while Youngboy's career was reaching new heights, his feud with TBG would intensify, and his former friend G Money would soon become his biggest rival. G Money would begin dissing Youngboy with dedicated tracks like WNBA Smoke, where he appears to threaten to send his shooters at Youngboy and the NBA crew, rapping that if you take it there with him, you're not going to make it back. Youngboy would fire back and ride on him.
See what I'm saying though? He started, this 2017, bro.
Begin dissing Youngboy with dedicated tracks like WNBA Smoke.
WNBA Smoke was the name of the song, bro, in 2017. Play with me, I send a blitz, homie, go get him and make sure you get his click, homie. You end up missing whenever you drop a diss on me. I ain't hear the diss before this, so I don't know.
Shooters at Youngboy and the NBA crew, rapping that if you take it there with him,
ain't no shaking back. You ain't gonna make it back.
Youngboy would fire back in songs such as Ride on 'Em, with chilling lyrics claiming that
and I never knew that this was a fire back. Like he clapped back at it. You know what I'm saying? You know that I'm about whatever you want me. You want it with me. That's a bet. It could go to that level. I ain't squashing nothing, bitch. It's up. Just had to talk with the devil. On the way this shit going in, you gonna get hit with that metal. You know we ride on them. Ride, you know, slide on, slide, you know, drop a bag on, bad. Hey, I remember that song though, make a nigga smash on, but I didn't know that was a diss to G Money though. I just learned that.
The only way the beef would end was with G Money getting shot and even hinting that he'd put a bag on his head. Now, before we go any further, I just want to make one thing clear. You can hate on Youngboy all you want, and you can call me the feds, but this is a dangerous man who warns his enemies and tells them exactly what's going to happen to them. G Money was warned what would happen in 2017 if he kept playing with Youngboy, but he didn't take these warnings seriously, and he wound up being the first of many who unfortunately found out the hard way that nothing can get in the way of the NBA empire. The conflict kept escalating throughout 2017 as both sides would go back and forth on social media.
Yeah, that little like my little partner. He used to be like my little brother. He stayed with me and everything. Everything was still all good until he started, you know what I'm saying, like doing his own thing, getting him a little buzz, getting a little money. He just got the big, he mad about his sister too though.
But see, like, what does that mean? He started doing his own thing, got the money, and got the little big head. What does that mean? Does that mean he started getting his money, he started chilling, and then he like distanced himself from y'all? And you ain't like that? He already stopped messing with y'all anyway before he even really before he blew up. So I'm not understanding like what that part right there mean. You feel me? Like, is you mad at him that he got money and disassociated himself with y'all? Even before he got the money, he already disassociated himself with y'all. So, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really understand that. But this part right here.
Yeah, I had a long time ago.
And then look at the stare, bro. Like, what the fuck? Bro. What you expect? I don't know, bro. I don't know, bro.
You don't like me or something? I'm about leaving. What it is? I don't like you. I'm gonna keep on that. I don't like you.
Talking about you don't like him, this and that. You ain't gonna for you.
You see, he like, what, you don't like me or something like that? What I'm saying, like, so what? You just going on that way? Bro. Looking at this stuff, I'm thinking about it like, YB probably looking at it like, bro, you doing all this and this shit, bro. What, you mad that I just stopped hanging with y'all? You feel me? Yeah, I knew you was already doing whatever you was with my sister, but then you going online, talking, bragging about it, doing all this love. You feel me? Like, I don't know, bro. Like, I feel like, bro, they putting YB in a tough spot, bro. Like, what you want him to do, bro? What you want him to do? You want him to not diss? You want him to not diss back? Like, The man talking crazy, bro. Talking about fucking a bitch sister, all type of shit. Then he going doing all these interviews and shit, bro. Like, damn, bro. You know what I mean?
G-Money wanted all the smoke, and his next move would be a fatal escalation. On August the 27th, 2017, G-Money dropped his notorious song Industry, another dedicated diss track aimed at Youngboy and the NBA. But this time, G-Money would get way more personal, mentioning people close to Youngboy like his late cousin Boozy.
Had me looking for your cousin, you wanted to kill you. You're a bitch, I know the real you. You surrounded son, I can't kill you. Your sister swallowed nuts, so I never kissed her, but I fucked with her, so I never dissed her. Even if that is true, gang. Even if that is true, why is you making them? What you making songs about me for, gang? And then you saying all this shit like what? Come on, gang. Come on, gang. Come on, gang. Come on, bro.
Dilla and his mother, Sharonda.
Come on,
his
bro.
sister, this time in a way that made sure that the relationship between these two.
I'm not saying like. I don't know what was transpiring for him to say all this shit, but you don't see Youngboy making like overly disses to G. You feel me? You don't see him just like overly making videos talking about him. You don't see that, but you see G doing that to YB. Probably because YB younger, and like you said, he probably, I ain't gonna say probably, he knew YB for sure. So I feel like it was a power trip for G. Like he felt like he was more superior than that boy because that boy was younger, and he probably felt like he had more money than YB, and he had the streets. You feel me? So I feel like it was more of a power trip with G. I ain't gonna lie. That's just from the outside looking in, but like shit like this is crazy to me, gang.
Former friends would never be repaired. But perhaps most interestingly, G-Money also revealed that someone had allegedly put $100,000 on his head, with Redditors later spreading rumors that Youngboy's notorious manager, Big Dump, was actually the very person behind this $100,000 bounty. Famously, the video also prominently featured a Chucky doll, which was apparently a reference to an earlier Youngboy video called What I Was Taught from September 2016, where the same doll could be seen. And this cursed doll would continue to pop up in spooky ways on both sides of this beef for years to come. From here, G-Money kept taking shots at Youngboy and the NBA crew.
From here, G-Money kept taking shots at Youngboy and the NBA crew. I don't know, bro.
Whenever he could.
You, when you do this and do that and do that, you ain't sticking with a. So
You ain't sticking with a nigga, fucking with a nigga. So nigga, fuck you. I ain't tripping on no nigga dissing on no nigga. You ain't sticking with a nigga, fucking with a nigga. See, that's what I'm saying. To me, it just sound like, G, you see he starting to get a little buzz or whatever, but he not fucking with y'all boys, so y'all feel like he acting different. He already stopped fucking with y'all before he started getting money, so I don't know, bro.
I ain't tripping on no this and no none of that, Jerry. You, your mama, your brother, your cousin,
Fuck
your
you,
auntie,
your mama, your brother, your cousin, your auntie, your uncle, whoever. You dissing my whole family, bro. Now you dissing my whole family, bro. Like, you already dissed my sister, bro. He dissing. Come on, bro. Like, what you want him to do? I'm just saying, bro. If this was y'all, bro, and not everybody living this type of life, bro, so I can't say that, but if it was another nigga, like if this was vice versa, what you think G-Money would have did? Come on, bro. That's all I'm saying, bro. Hey, rest in peace that boy too, though. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace that boy. You know what I'm saying? My condolences to his whole family. You feel me? My condolences to Fredo Bang, all them boys. You feel me? Just, bro, when you look at it, bro, like when you really go back and look at it, yeah, you can say YB probably, you know what I'm saying? You can say he was scared. You can say he whatever, bro. One, you gotta understand he was young, bro. He's young, hanging around a whole bunch of grown ass niggas, bro. These niggas, I ain't gonna say grown, but these niggas way older than him, bro. Like, what you want him to just be the biggest tough guy walking around? Niggas way taller than him, way older than, like, what the fuck? I don't understand that shit, bro. I don't get it, bro. I don't know, bro.
Way throwback, you hear me? Made you strip and you ain't do nothing about it. So how you think you could? So how you think you could?
He made you strip and you ain't do nothing about it. What is he supposed to do? He made you strip. What, you was right there? You supposed to be my brother. You gonna let the nigga just script me now? Bro, the man's, like I said, bro, he's way younger, way smaller than all of y'all, bro. What you want him to do, fight? He probably already tried to fight all y'all, bro, and probably got his ass whooped. Man ain't finna keep fighting y'all, bro, knowing he gonna get his ass whooped, bro. I don't get it, bro. Like, I don't know.
In some of these videos, G-Money
I'm just gonna
also
disassociate myself with y'all. I just not be around y'all.
While claiming that Youngboy suddenly turned into a supposed killer after getting his record deal.
Say, Lil, you know you ain't living like that, man. You get a deal and you done turn to a killer. When you start doing all that, man.
Steady
You
dissing.
know you ain't cut like that, man. You know TBG been your muscle, boy. And the same you talking about usually don't live in jail wherever they at, man. That's the same ran you out of Nouveau in the city, man. Yeah, you remember Will? Yeah, Will's out there. And you remember you ran on this snow, man. You know what's happening with us.
We was out there. You know what's happening with us. Is you talking about when y'all was cool or y'all wasn't cool? Because if y'all was cool and all that shit happened, then why would I still be cool with you, bro?
Man, you hear me? Real. And I'm living out shit, you hear me? Everything you got with a deal, I got without a deal, man. You hear me? You know, 30 plus on my neck with no deal. Yeah, for real. Driving in $100,000 coupes, man. Yeah, with no deal, boy. You better stop playing and stay in your place.
See, just no deal, no deal, no deal. It sound like you just hating that man got money, bro, and he not fucking with y'all. Which is, you know what I'm saying? It's cool. Just, there's no need to hate, man. There's no need to hate. That's all I'm saying.
People familiar with the city of Baton Rouge could likely recognize easily that he was standing in front of a local recording studio on the 1900 block of Dallas Drive, where TBG were known to record at. The very same studio was also featured prominently in the music video for G-Money and Boulevard Quick's track, Set Trippin'. Unfortunately for G-Money, he massively underestimated two things. He underestimated how easy he was to find in the city, and he hugely underestimated a Youngboy and the NBA crew's willingness to kill to protect their budding empire. In the early morning hours of September the 10th, 2017, G-Money was at that very same studio, seemingly recording another diss track aimed at Youngboy with...
Then you doing all that dissing, and then you posting where you at and doing all this, like, hey.
The people's favorite rapper, a liar. This would unfortunately end up being his last recording, as around 1:30 a.m., G-Money would step outside the studio building and take his last breath before he was ambushed and shot dead.
Baton Rouge police are looking into...
Man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Rest in peace, G, man. It's still a sad story, bro. You know what I'm saying? I would rather none of these dudes be losing their lives and stuff like that, bro. But at the same time, bro, you're antagonizing somebody, bro, over and over and over and over and over, bro. And in the mainstream, in a main light like that, bro, and in a city like that where crime is huge and high, and murder is high. You know what I'm saying? They smacking for real, bro. Like, you can't be doing stuff like this, man.
A deadly shooting
side,
that claimed the life of a local rapper.
Can't be doing stuff like
Police
that. And that
say someone
city's not
shot
big at all.
22-year-old Garrett Burton on Dallas Street around 1:20 last night. Burton performed under the name G-Money.
An alleged picture of the shooter at the scene would later circulate on Reddit. G-Money's good friend Fat Chapo, who was with him at the studio the night of the murder, would later describe the evening's dark events in a later interview.
I was the first out the door. G walked out that door by himself. I told him before he walked out the door, like, and when I went to go get the slippers, he walked out the door on his own.
So he said he was the first one out the door. So what, did he see somebody? He said he told G-Money before he went to go get the slippers. What's that, 5? First off, why you walking outside without the 5? That's one. I ain't never going to the studio without 5, and I ain't never walking out the door without the 5 on me. I'm walking in that bit with the 5 on me. I'm walking out that bit with the 5 on me. What? Man, you crazy, man. I'm not playing like that, especially when all this going on. Like, man, what? Hey, why is you going out? Hey. Like, I'm not doing all that, man. I'm stopping that. You're not even going out the door. No.
And
slippers count, though.
Start shooting. When they start shooting, I really didn't know what was going on because I really I heard a boom, but when as soon as the shooting stopped, I ran out the door.
Nobody was still. I ran out the door. Soon as the shooting stopped, I ran out the door. Gang. If I hear shooting, gang, and my dog out there, and I know he don't got no pole on him, gang, I'm going out the door, gang. If I got the pole on me, I'm going out the door, gang. I'm blowing. I'm going out blowing, gang. I have to. What are you talking about, bro? I'm not finna just let my dog just... No, bro. No, I can't do that. No. Especially if somebody I done grew up with, that my dog, like, nah, hell nah. We ain't doing that. I'm gonna have to... If I get... I'm going out...
Don't nobody. It was more like... You know what I'm saying? It f***ed me up instantly.
But just as chilling as the murder itself were the haunting details that came out afterwards. The day after G Money was killed, someone would go to the studio to document the murder scene, where they ended up capturing footage where bloody pillows could be seen laying on the ground. A picture of this pillow would also be posted on social media, where it would eventually go down in infamy as one of the most terrifying pieces of folklore about the Baton Rouge streets. This haunting
I ain't gonna lie, let me slide, bro.
The
You
G
gotta
Money's
give it to
killers
him, bro.
had
Legit
actually
me
thrown a
slide,
pillow
man.
and told him to go to sleep.
But that's
after
crazy.
shooting
That's
him
crazy
dead.
work.
It's unclear exactly who started this dark rumor, but it had a powerful effect on the Baton Rouge streets. The word of the
All
bloody
this
pillow
time,
would spread all around Louisiana.
I've been
Young
talking.
The NBA crew would become notorious.
All this time, I've been talking. Oh wait, I think my shit was still going on though. I think it was still going on. We gonna see.
Not just as shooters, but like action movie mobsters
see.
who left props at the scene of the murders to send others a message. While the truth behind these pillows turned out to be nothing as cold and calculated as people on Reddit might have you believe, even this make-believe story would survive in infamy for years, and it made the NBA gang out to be like boogeymen in Baton Rouge. But the truth is, the pillows had most likely been used by medics who came to the scene to help G Money after the shooting. But it seems that Youngboy and his team would take full advantage of this online folklore, and Youngboy would later rap several lyrics where he referenced pillows in relation to murders, like in the 2020 song Step On, where he rapped that he would lay his ops beds and throw them a pillow, and in the 2023 song Let's Do It, where he described his gang.
I may get your head, but then nigga, all that buttons thing. They gonna lay your head on no pillow if you creep up on you. Man, I'm so on it. Yeah.
Creeping up and laying their ops head
But
on
I
the
ain't,
pillow.
that's kind of
In the music video for this song, Youngboy even gets down and lays his head onto an actual pillow. The bloody pillow was a terrifying symbol of how far NBA members would take it if you got in their way. As time went on, from this first murder, Youngboy would continue to reference G Money, leaving cryptic warnings for anyone else who might gamble with their lives playing with the NBA. A new song titled Poor One would release about a month after G Money's murder and appeared to be explicitly dedicated to him, with Youngboy starting his first verse, recalling a time when their bond felt more like a brotherhood before G Money shattered Youngboy's trust.
Then threw it in my face in front of people on Insta. He's telling y'all, bro, I ain't gonna speak on that disease that y'all gave to each other. I take my liquor, keep trucking forever. I keep it gutter. Bro, come on, bro. Like, I'm just saying, bro. Like, what you want him to do, gang? What you want him to do, bro?
Sleeping with his sister and bragging about it online. This was the first time one of NBA's rivals suffered deadly consequences in the streets after playing with Youngboy, and he was not shy about reminiscing and talking openly about the person who had lost their life. Yet despite this being an open secret in the Baton Rouge streets, the authorities to this very day have struggled to truly get to the bottom of this case. It would take close to 2 years before they finally named any suspects in G Money's murder, but finally in June 2019, DeAndre Fields, better known on the streets as Lil Pap, or NBA Pap, will be charged with second-degree murder in connection to G Money's death.
DeAndre Fields, Baton Rouge police say they arrested him years after the shooting death of a local rapper, Garrett Burton. Back in 2017, Burton went by the name of G Money.
In his early music, Youngboy had painted a picture of Pap as being one of his main shooters. So now, here he was, accused of shooting Youngboy's biggest rival dead. Lil Pap initially pled not guilty, and years later, he would accept a plea deal on greatly reduced charges of accessory.
But I ain't gonna lie, I was just saying something on this. They were saying he got he accepted the plea deal because somebody said they seen him shooting G Money. But the dude that said, the witness that said that, he ended up catching a murder charge or something like that. And yeah, so his statement was like basically no longer valid. So Pap just, you know what I'm saying, pleaded guilty to a lesser charge, and that's why he only got like the 5 years or whatever. So That's crazy. I was just watching a video on that.
After the fact murder, receiving a mere 5-year sentence. But interestingly, Pap would still swear to the judge and people close to him that he was innocent, and this sentiment was shared amongst G Money's close friends, like TBG rapper Fredo Bang, who would also later claim several times publicly that Pap indeed was
when he
G
just
Money's
came
killer.
home, but this when Fredo had started taking off.
Just send it to her. I was like, you seen it? You seen it? Yeah, I seen it. Oh, he's making risks.
I don't know what he eat, but he making that bitch sound good, ain't he?
Man, they do that.
Do you know the guy that's being charged? Okay. You said that you didn't think the guy that they're charging with the murder actually did it.
Youngboy's lyrics on the leaked song, Keeping It True, seem to echo this same sentiment.
Even
rapping.
Even if he did, Fredo not gonna tell. I ain't gonna lie, Fredo keep a solid game. Fredo gonna keep a solid game.
How after an op died in the night, his brother kept it solid and didn't tell, even though he wasn't the shooter. Even G Money's own mother would post on social media after Pap's guilty plea that she also believed that he wasn't the actual killer of her son, leaving this first.
It's not hard. I'm not telling y'all the streets is. Don't join the streets. The streets is not it, bro. The streets don't love nobody, gang. You either going to jail or you gonna die or you gonna be broke. One or the other, bro. That shit is not it, bro. You gonna get robbed. You might get stabbed. You might get shot. You feel me? Somebody in your family might die. Somebody you know gonna go to jail for a long time. It's too much negatives come with the street, gang. So I'm not telling y'all to. I'm not telling nobody in here to join the streets or the streets cool. And I'm not telling you that right now. I'm not. But growing up and the stuff I was taught and how I was raised, bro, you keep it solid, gang. That's just what it is, bro. That's what come with it when you know what you're doing. If you know what you're doing, gang, that's what come with it, gang. That's what come with it. That's just like being a police officer. Police officers smack something and they wasn't supposed to. You think them other police officers gonna be like, oh no, he's going to jail? No, they gonna keep it solid. Hey, we gonna make sure you get out there. Hey, just keep your head high. But you know what I'm saying, stay low and make sure, you know what I'm saying, everything good on your end. We're gonna make sure everything good on our end. It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Murder connected to Youngboy and his squad of killers still shrouded in mystery. Not only robbing G Money's family of justice, but also meaning that whichever NBA soldier who did kill G Money might still be walking the streets and stages behind Youngboy to this day, being ready to kill again. There's of course been various rumors as to exactly what went down that night and who was responsible. G Money's mother would make a post on Instagram showing a picture of 3 prominent NBA members, BBG Fredo, Ben 10, and Baby Joe, saying these were the 3 people that the police said killed her son.
So they said Pap, but in that video you only see one shooter. That's what I'm saying. Was it only one shooter? Where was the other 3 shooters? If it was these 4 dudes there, where was the other 3? You only see one shooter on that screen, and that one shooter on that screen looked more like Lil Pap than any of these other guys, bro. Lil Pap, what, you know what I mean? My bad, Lil Pap, because Pap is in that Quando people. Pop or Pap, something like that. My bad. Rest in peace to that boy too, man. But yeah, man, I don't know what's going on.
Other rumors would circulate, particularly on Reddit, where many have claimed that Pap indeed was not responsible, but was only connected to the case due to being involved with the gun that was used in the hit, while some have denied this. Some spread false rumors that Youngboy might have killed G Money personally, but he apparently had the perfect alibi, claiming
definitely wasn't responsible, and I've seen some YB fans say YB done it, brothers in New York when that happened. YB tour dates, he had a show in New York, right?
the show in New York City at the Gramercy Theatre that very night. Other NBA members would be caught on live with Quando Rondo in 2018, including OG3, Ben 10, and off-screen, Baba Osama, who is heard saying that they're smoking on G Money before a frustrated OG3 ends the live abruptly.
Yeah, we smoking on G Money right now.
Yeah.
One far.
Bruh. A3. A3. I salute you, my boy.
Fetch rumor circulating on Reddit suggested that NBA Herm and Baby Joe were actually the shooters, and that it was Ben 10 who threw the pillow and told him to go to sleep. Herm's name has been put forward by some on social media.
Herm did it. YB hinted that Herm did it, not Powell. Who y'all think is it? I ain't gonna lie. I heard it was Herm. Very suspect posts made. I heard it was Herm, but I also heard it was 10. But I also heard it was Baby Joe. So I really don't know.
by Youngboy over the years, as well as the fact
I
that
really
he
don't
appeared
know.
right next to Youngboy when he laid his head on the pillow in the music video for Bitch Let's Do It, as well as being on the original live that teased the song with people commenting how crazy it was to rap these lyrics, stood right next to the
You
killer.
know,
Some
the
believe
killer
that
in the back
Youngboy
is
actually
crazy.
confirmed that Herm was responsible.
No cap said everyone in BR trying to claim G Money dead. Then YB said you must ain't know about the black sheep. He did say that. YB Johnson is gonna hang G Money when he found out. No cap saying everybody in BR trying to claim. You the same kid who had to clear their name and that made it seem like you just and then I don't know what it even matter if the you were talking about you like I said, go make a song about it and make me some money to show. The show must go on. You're a B who made you, who made you a B, you gonna die. B probably I bet the girl you with right now can see you a B. You see through rainbow. I don't know what he's saying, but it's probably some crazy. Tell your sister come paint my nails. You signed because of Quando Facts. You will be without him. He the only one can save you. Honestly, you ain't never heard of the Black Sheep.
Responsible on social media during a feud with
I mean, he said a lot in between there to where he just throw in that you ain't never heard of the Black Sheep. It'll throw you off if you're not really, you know what I mean? It was a lot in there, so it's like you ain't never heard of the Black Sheep. Like, huh?
rapper
It'll
No
throw you
Cap,
off.
where No Cap had apparently claimed that everyone in Baton Rouge was trying to claim the G Money murder, with Youngboy responding that you must not know about the Black Sheep, referring to Herm's nickname, while others adamantly believe that actually it was Ben 10 who was truly responsible for the hit, which makes the fact that he was caught liking the IG posts of the mother of G.
That's G Mama? Well, she look young as hell, boy. Marvin World 10 times. MG's somewhere y'all go something.
Money's child, all the more chilling. But even as the mystery continues, so does the disrespect, as G Money's grave has been vandalized numerous times, and G Money's mother still has no justice. It would seem that despite the NBA crew reaching the upper echelons of the rap game, this didn't mean their long-running and biggest ops from TBG would be spared. During 2019 and 2020, the beef between NBA and TBG would reach deadly new heights. On songs...
Oh, well, hold on. Let's say what that say. We got...
In 2020, the beef between...
We got NBA, fucking Che, TBG, BBG, TMH, who the hell's TMH? Vultures, Bleeders, DHG, 300, NSR, Spotted Gang, Who Gang, 60 Gang. I know Who Gang, Who Gang D and all them boys, the Vultures. I know them boys. BBG, know them. NBA, fucking Che, I know them. Bleeders, I know them. TBG, I know them. I don't know anybody else. All these other gangs, I don't know them.
NBA and TBG would reach deadly new heights. On songs, Youngboy kept throwing shade at his old friends, like in the song Free D-Dog, released in April 2019. He seems to imply that TBG used to run Baton Rouge, but now they can't claim that anymore, while proudly bragging how he had been getting so many people.
I've been on some rider shit, let's go, I leave him dead. Got a whole shit in mad, I sit that boy about what he said, huh? You can't stunt like you're mad, I put a bag on top of your head. He was definitely, he was going... He was going crazy on that. He slid that motherfucker though.
Killed
I'll tell you
would
that
make
much.
the whole city of Baton Rouge mad at him for putting so many big bags on people's heads. Unsurprisingly, TBG wasn't about to let this kind of disrespect go unpunished. The following month in May, Youngboy was booked to perform at Rolling Loud, the biggest rap
Hit that
festival series in
motherfucker
the
up.
country, where his name would be
Hey,
in the fourth row.
that boy came out that
It's hard to
bit
imagine Youngboy
unscathed
being so
though.
low on the billing now,
And
in
went right on
2025,
stage.
selling out stadiums back to
I ain't gonna lie,
back. At this time in
bro.
his career, he was still just a young and hungry
Gotta
rising
give it to
star,
him,
and the
gang.
festival
You got
taking
to.
place that year in Miami was stacked with other rap stars, many of these being the rap
gotta
game's
give it
biggest
to 'em.
artists at the time, descending on Florida to perform, including the likes of Lil Durk, Lil Wayne, 21 Savage, Kodak Black, and Chief Keef. Funnily enough, one of the other artists who was there was Young Thug, the very same person who, according to some rumors, had actually blessed Youngboy's 4K Trey gang into the official Money Murder Blood Gang umbrella. Early Friday morning, as Youngboy was allegedly out partying with Young Thug, a shooting would take place on an interstate highway. TMZ would break the story, reporting how the target of the shooting had been Young Thug, but other outlets like the Miami Herald would later report how Youngboy had also been present. A couple months later, in June 2019, one of TBG's main rappers and alleged main shooters, Lit Yoshi, would release a song titled
This nigga's such a crash dummy, bro. Like they be talking about Ben 10 and all them boys being crashed. This nigga is a crash dummy game. This nigga's going on live with the same Drake you just did a hit with. Not a hit, but you just shot some shit up with the same Drake. And you just went live with it? Come on, gang.
Called Cutter, where he would drop some very interesting bars about him and another TBG rapper, Seven Hardaway, catching their ops on an interstate and adding how Seven was driving while Yoshi was shooting, with fans on Reddit later connecting these lyrics to that Friday morning shootout. But unfortunately for Youngboy, his troubles in Miami were just getting started, and only a few days later, on Sunday the 12th of May, when he was supposed to be taking the stage at Rolling Loud, he was targeted by shooters in broad daylight at one of the most high-profile hotels in the whole of Florida, the Trump International Hotel and Beach Resort in Sunny Isles. As online sleuths would later put together, Youngboy had made a crucial mistake, leaving his geolocation on whilst tweeting.
Oh, I never knew that. Your location on for turning off before they try to catch you like it. Hey, that's crazy that somebody said that though. That's crazy somebody said that, bro.
Giving up his location to his ops, and as he and his entourage were about to make their way to the festival, they would be ambushed outside the hotel by assailants who pulled up in a black Cadillac Escalade. As shots were fired from the Escalade in the direction of Youngboy's entourage, it would trigger an immediate return of fire from members of his own NBA team who were carrying their own weapons. From here, complete chaos ensued, as gunslingers from both parties engaged in a Wild West-style shootout in the middle of a busy tourist hotspot. By some miracle, Youngboy would again escape unscathed, while his girlfriend at the time would get hit on the shoulder, and 3 bystanders would also be grazed, including a 5-year-old child. But most tragically, however, one of the stray bullets would end up hitting a bystander named Muhammad Jaradi, who would pass away from his injuries. After the shootout was over, and before the police and the news media would take over the crime scene, Youngboy would somehow manage to flee the scene and still make it to his performance at Rolling Loud, before he was ultimately hunted down by the police and arrested for violating his probation for allegedly taking...
I'm telling you right now, bro, I don't understand certain laws, bro. Especially certain probation laws. You mean to tell me he's on probation and he violated his probation because somebody shot at him? Because he was in a crime. Because you can't be, involved in no crime or anything like that. But that's not nothing you can't do nothing about that. That's what I'm telling you about that Florida shit. But I don't know if this, obviously this wasn't, that was in Baton Rouge where he caught the charge or whatever, but like, nah, bro.
The return of fire. When it came to the actual assailants, on the other hand, the Miami police were quick to make the connection that they were likely Youngboy's rivals from his home state of Louisiana, but their exact identities and motives would remain unknown for some time, although the online sleuths were quick to notice that Yoshi had been posting himself on social media sliding around Miami, armed with the exact weaponry that the police would later connect to the shooters. Coming into 2020, the war would continue back in Baton Rouge, where on the 22nd of March 2020, a shooting would occur at the family home of 37-year-old NBA affiliate named Travis Parker, known in the streets as T-Baby.
Whoa. Where did all these other dudes come from? You got Big Dump, Lil Dump, Duty Black, and Q. Where they come from? I know Big Dump, Lil Dump. Who the hell is Duty Black? And Q.
Yeah, named Travis Parker, known in the streets as T-Baby.
Oh,
T-Baby was shot and killed, while a 62-year-old woman believed to be his mother would be wounded, but survived. In the aftermath of the shooting, fans would notice that TBG rapper Fredo Bang appeared to be trolling for...
I wasn't there, bro. My brother... Oh, that's right, brother. Why am I can't expose on his part of his death? Fredo Bang, like a pig, has been taken down. Teammate shot and killed at his home.
4K Trey member YMM Captain by liking his tribute post to T-Baby.
Yeah, I know him too. I don't know him, but
murder. Just like after Dump's killing, when Boulevard Quick was gunned down only months later, in what many saw as retaliation, the revenge was about to come again, only this time it would only take 1 week. On Sunday the 29th of March 2020, a 30...
Boulevard Quick, but that
6-year-old man was found shot to death in front of a Food Mart and gas station on the north side of Baton Rouge. Police would later identify the man as Jason Nixon, a well-known TBG affiliate, better known by his nickname Dutch, who had often been seen alongside TBG artists like Fredo Bang, Lit Yoshi, and Boulevard Sleepy.
But
Dutch
like,
was also apparently...
bro? How old is he though? Look at him, bro. This man like he's 40, 50 years old, bro. What is you doing? What is you doing? Now, if you're a manager or something, okay. But, come on, man.
known in the streets of Baton Rouge as a certified stepper who had been putting work in for likely a couple of decades at this point. TBG members would post numerous tributes to Dutch on social media, while NBA and 4K Trey affiliates were exhilarated, with BBG Baby Joe immediately posting a story on Instagram with a caption saying how he knew that TBG were hurting, together with a foot emoji implying that 4K Trey had stepped on them, while Ben 10 would later rejoice during an Instagram live, pointing out how TBG now had 3 dead members who they can't get back.
Man, my kitty can't walk. Hey, what man? Your brother dead. 3 on dead, out 3. They can't get him back. Yeah,
Look at him and Baby Joe. Man, hey, I don't know. Hey, man, I would love to see Baby Joe reunited with YB, bro. It looked like Baby Joe, you know what I'm saying, was going through a lot though, man. Looked like, you know what I'm saying, looked like he probably was, you know what I'm saying, popping some, you know what I'm saying, popping some irks and stuff, man. And bro, you living a life like this, bro, that should take a toll on you, gang. All this spinning and drilling and niggas getting hit, that should take a toll on you, gang. You gotta think about this shit for real. A lot of people don't understand, bro. You gotta think about this shit for real, bro. That shit take a toll on you, gang.
In theories, 4K Trey has commonly been connected to at least 3 murders against TBG, the murder of Dutch being the 3rd. Youngboy himself would also make a similar reference in a song called 4K Trey 3-Style, which was officially released in 2022, but the actual recording time is somewhat unclear, with some sources claiming the song was actually recorded all the way back in 2019. But in the song, Youngboy raps how his TBG ops were repping off of one body that they caught from NBA being Big Dump, whereas Youngboy's gang had killed 3 of their homies, G Money, Boulevard Quick, TBG Dutch. The most interesting lyrics from Youngboy, however, would be on the song Trapped Out, which would be officially released on the 2025 compilation album More Leaks, but the song itself is likely much older. On this track, Youngboy first appears to reference the shooting in Miami, saying how they shot his whole car up before an infamous NBA member named Baba would step in. Baba, according to the wildest online rumors, is an actual contract killer with a rumored 10+ bodies, and according to these lyrics, he's the one who shot back and got the enemy off of Youngboy in the shootout at the Trump Hotel. Baba, real name Osama Eugene Manuel, and Youngboy would indeed both be later charged in relation to the shooting by Mohammed Jaradi's family in a civil court, which actually named Baba Osama as Youngboy's official security guard. But Uncle must have also heard about someone who got killed while pumping gas, saying how he pointed him out and got him out, which could in fact be seen to be yet another reference to Dutch, the implication being that Dutch was in fact killed at a gas station as retaliation for that Miami shooting. In online rumors, certain specific 4K Trey members have even been connected to the murder, like Herm from NBA and Chine from the Vultures, with some Baton Rouge drillologists even making dedicated posts labeling Herm as the killer of Dutch. Both Herm and Chine have also participated in dissing Dutch.
Yeah, hush, puff, nigga, this that good double big Dutch.
Personally following his death, with Herm rapping in his 2022 song Puff Puff how people say that he's a killer and how someone was acting like it was smoke until Herm and his partners rolled him up. Herm then making a devilish play on words by saying that he's now smoking a big Dutch, a double entendre referring to both the Dutch Master's blunt raps and TBG Dutch himself. Chine, on the other hand, would make several social media posts dissing Dutch, in one Instagram story making his own version of the lyrics of Lil Durk's song Should Have Ducked, where Durk raps how he gets as high as Duck, referring to his dead rival FBG Duck, with Chine writing how he gets as high as Dutch. In another post, he would take the disrespect even further, actually taking a picture at the very gas station where Dutch was killed, while adding a caption saying how he was at the same location where a gorilla had taken his last breath, referring to Dutch's status as a member of the TBG, aka Top Boy Gorillas. In his song Chase Down, Lit Yoshi would also rap some interesting lyrics that seem to point squarely at NBA and 4K Trey, as he first pays tribute to Dutch before saying how TBG caught someone in Yoshi's hood and did a drill, specifically mentioning a Jeep. Now, it's not exactly clear whether Yoshi means that he was sliding in a Jeep or his victims were, but interestingly, there was indeed one incident on April the 6th, 2020, only about a week after Dutch's murder.
Oh, Lil Yoshi said that.
Lit Yoshi would also rap some interesting lyrics that seem to point squarely at NBA and 4K Trey, as he first pays tribute to Dutch before saying how TBG caught someone in Yoshi's hood and did a drill, specifically mentioning a Jeep. Now, it's not exactly clear whether Yoshi means that he was sliding in a Jeep or his victims were, but interestingly, there was indeed one incident on April the 6th, 2020, only about a week after Dutch's murder, where Lit Yoshi and another man, allegedly Seven Hardaway, were caught on CCTV arriving at an apartment complex on the north side of Baton Rouge with a Jeep Cherokee, before allegedly opening fire on 3 people, one of these being none other than NBA member Lil Pap, real name DeAndre Fields, who would eventually be charged with the murder of G Money. Clearly then, Yoshi's lyrics seem to point to him very much holding NBA responsible for Dutch's murder. Still, officially the murder has remained unsolved, and even almost a full year after the murder in February 2021, local news would report how the police were still looking for a motive. Lit Yoshi himself, on the other hand, would eventually be charged with the shooting of Lil Pap and many others, getting hit with a staggering 7 counts of attempted murder, with even the Miami shooting targeting Youngboy eventually becoming part of the case. And he would eventually plead guilty, receiving a 15-year sentence that he has since tried to get overturned unsuccessfully. But despite one of the most fearsome shooters from TBG being taken off the
why would you even, if you pleaded guilty, bro, why would you try to, I don't really make no sense, but I guess. Hey, go lay down, Bentley. Go lay down.
streets, Youngboy's battles were far from over, and no doubt the attention he was getting from his ops in the streets was only made worse by the frequent lyrics that he was dropping, bragging about being responsible for these murders. About a month later, on April the 1st, one of the deadliest days in recent Baton Rouge history would take place. The first to lose their life would be 26-year-old Timotheus Bowie Jr., who was gunned down just after midnight during a shootout at the Vultures rapper YKWHIFV's show in the Palace nightclub. Bowie was a man better.
Who show? She just had cheese.
Life would be 26-year-old Timotheus Bowie Jr.
Hey, go lay down.
Who was gunned down just after midnight during a shootout at the Vultures rapper YKWHIFV's show in the Palace nightclub. Bowie was a man better known as Bop, and a man who was weirdly closely connected to both the Vultures and the Bleeders, as well as being a cousin of none other than TBG rapper Fredo Bang. And there's even early pictures of Bop hanging out with NBA members. Bop had even talked publicly about not picking a side in the war between the Vultures and the Bleeders.
Hey, people, this talking about how it's going on you. You gotta pick a side. You ain't pick no motherfucking side. The ain't no snake. That's what snakes do. Pick sides. Wrong with you? I'm from Skyler, and I bleed.
After Bop's death, it would only take a few hours and another shooting would take place, this time in the heart of the Vultures hood in Bankstown, where the Vultures member Debug, real name Demetrion Grimm, and an alleged 4K Trey member called JJ, aka Bandit, real name Jonathan William, would both lose their lives, while a third person, a 16-year-old girl, was injured. As the news about all these casualties reached social media, numerous people would pay tribute to everyone who had lost their lives, with TBG members including Fredo Bang and Lit Yoshi paying their respects to Bop, together with many members of the Bleeders and their affiliates like SOG, with some Bleeders members also dissing the dead Vultures member Debug, who had allegedly taken part in the murder of True Bleeder, while saying that they were about to smack the whole city for Bop. The Vultures, on the other hand, would pay tribute to Debug and 4K Trey members to Bandit, but this situation was about to get tricky fast, because not long after the smoke had cleared, Bop's alleged killer would be arrested, but he would turn out to be the Vultures member known as 1012, real name Marquise Payne. The case against 1012 would later in 2024 move forward, as he was indicted on second-degree murder charges for allegedly killing Bop. But an even bigger shock was when rumors began spreading soon after that Debug and JJ, aka Bandit, had not been both killed by their attackers, but rather JJ had actually been killed by other Vultures, either by accident or on purpose. After the Bleeders member Fully Gang Jit
happened to Lil Bug. I left that behind the wheel and let JJ went outside and shot that stick when she got real. Look how it happened to Lil Bug. I left that behind the wheel. Left that behind the wheel and let JJ went outside because it cut the stick when she got real.
would claim that JJ had failed to shoot back when Debug was killed, leading to rumors that he was later backdoored by the Vultures. Shockingly, these rumors would seemingly turn out to be confirmed, as the Vultures rapper and Debug's brother V, real name Javea Ferguson, was arrested in August for the murder of Jonathan William, aka Bandit, or JJ, together with 3 other people. This incident possibly throwing a wrench into the relationship between the Vultures.
Fallout after last night might have been the worst move we done made. I'm going JJ mode forever.
Vultures and 4K Trey, as JJ aka Bandit was not just any member, but the nephew of Herm, one of the most famous and important members of the NBA and 4K Trey. Interestingly, in the very same song Tears of War, where Youngboy claimed to have 19 bodies, he also rapped about Herm crying to him, which many believe due to the timing of the shooting and song that Youngboy was actually referring to Herm crying to him over JJ's death, with this lyric being a chilling reminder of the real humanity behind these ruthless hitters, proving that even somebody as tough and terrifying as Herm the Black Sheep could still succumb to the pain and heartbreak that losses in the streets can bring. And indeed, after this, 4K Trey members will begin dissing Bankstown and Vultures after news about V's arrest became public.
Right now, what you said? Hey, I'm in Fairfield.
Thanks. Thanks. See my teeth.
Oh!
From back. See my teeth.
Long live JJ.
Long live JJ. Long live man.
This was followed by Who Gang D posting a message on his Instagram story, simply writing "green light," possibly implying that a new war had now started between the Vultures and 4K Trey. The first quarter of 2024 as a whole ended up being the deadliest in Baton Rouge history, and while the violence has since somewhat slowed down, Baton Rouge has remained amongst the most dangerous cities in America. And now, at the end of 2025, with Youngboy's newest album Slime Cry dropping, there's really no telling just how high his body count might get.
That's crazy.